Welcome to the WorkReady Worksite Supervisor Training. Thank you for participating as a worksite with the WorkReady Summer Program this year. Over the course of this training, we will go over the WorkReady System, the WorkReady Summer System, the definition of a high-quality worksite, details about roles and responsibilities, summer programmatic details and useful information, as well as review some helpful, useful additional resources that will help you have a highly successful summer program. WorkReady Philadelphia, managed by the Philadelphia Youth Network, PYN, addresses the skill gap for young people in Philadelphia. With programs in the summer and year-round, WorkReady is designed to create long-lasting relationships while helping young people gain critical 21st century skills that are foundational to entering the workforce. WorkReady addresses youth employment by providing young people an opportunity to learn and bring employers new energy, creativity, comfort with technology, and eagerness to learn. WorkReady is a city-wide effort that uses cross-sector partnerships to connect our city's young people to opportunity. PYN works to leverage funding through public and private investments to support WorkReady, which distributes support to a network of providers who coordinate work sites where young people have their introduction to the world of work. I want to highlight that there are 4 main components that are important to any WorkReady program being successful. And no WorkReady program can run without all 4 coming together. And those 4 are youth, those that are involved in the WorkReady program themselves. The providers, these are the organizations that are offering the programs. They're doing the direct service, talking to young people, talking to you as work sites. Investors, this is where the funding is coming from. They may be private or public, and some investors have specific requirements that will affect the youth and the providers. And finally, work sites, the place and the location where young people are working. Without all of these 4 coming together, we cannot have a WorkReady experience. Why youth employment? Philadelphia struggles with continued poverty and inequity, which has serious implications for not only our young people, but for the economic growth of our city overall. Too many young people are out of work, which has disproportionate to the demand for workers in a local economy driven by knowledge and STEM industries. Among the 10 largest cities in the U.S., Philadelphia has the highest rate of deep poverty households with income below half the poverty line. Philadelphia is one of the most unequal cities in the country, with high levels of disparity in key indicators including income, housing value, and education level. And finally, youth employment rates are 47.3% and 48.3% nationally and statewide, respectively, while Philadelphia lags behind at 36.4%. Summer jobs are a critical entry point for youth employment. For many young people, it's their first job, teaching them necessary 21st century skills they need to thrive. When more opportunities are available and young people have access to employment, the impacts can be seen community-wide. Helping Philadelphia's young people get ahead increases the overall academic achievement, lifetime earnings, creates demand-driven employment pipelines, and supports long-term economic growth and community development. WorkReady summer employment models offer educationally enriched work opportunities for youth and young adults 12 to 24 who are Philadelphia residents. Participants complete 6 weeks of a paid work experience that fosters the acquisition of the 21st century skills through work-based learning. This continuum of models challenges youth to understand the correlations between work experience, skill attainment, and high school completion, and how those variables impact their potential for college and career success. The WorkReady Summer System has 4 distinct models. The first being career exposure, which is focused on opportunities for rising 8th grade youth to explore skills and experiences that careers require, including long and short-term goal setting and opportunities to build social networks. Our service learning model is designed for participants with an interest in civic service, little or no prior exposure to the world of work. Participants collectively address real-world issues, problems, and needs in the local to global communities. Our next model, work experience, is an opportunity for participants with limited exposure to the world of work, and participants have the opportunity to experience and further explore a desired career path. And finally, internships is an advanced opportunity for those with prior employment and/or leadership experience. Participants are exposed to careers otherwise not accessible to the teenage population, as well as professional development workshops. Please keep in mind that providers may operate multiple models in one summer. If you are unsure of what model you are serving as a worksite, please ask your provider. We will now be spending the next few minutes reviewing PYN's definition of a high-quality worksite and the various roles and responsibilities associated with these experiences. A high-quality worksite is one that provides exposure to meaningful, real-world learning opportunities, professional connections, and career awareness. It also connects participants to an adult who provides work-related support and feedback, and promotes the development of essential skills needed to succeed in the workplace. And finally, it provides a safe environment that adheres to all laws and regulations governing youth and young adult participation in the workplace and compliance with all safety measures outlined by PYN. In terms of roles and responsibility, we'll first review the roles of PYN. As managing partner of WorkReady Philadelphia, PYN supports the network in all aspects of program administration, provides and facilitates accessible trainings, like we're doing today, provides opportunity to develop partnerships across systems and organizations, operates as the employer of record and manages payroll, and finally develops policies and procedures to be in compliance with child labor and safety law guidelines. The provider organization is a youth and/or young adult serving organization that is contracted by PYN to operate one or more WorkReady summer models. The provider is the main point of contact for the worksite and program participant. It establishes clear understanding of the components of the WorkReady summer experience that they are managing and sets realistic expectations for both the worksite and the young people. It also ensures compliance with all policies and procedures laid out by PYN, and provider staff will visit worksites prior to the program start to complete worksite agreement and during the program to complete the worksite monitoring form. This provider organization is really the person that you will have the most contact with throughout your experience with the Summer WorkReady program. Now, a worksite coordinator is the full-time staff member at the worksite responsible for maintaining communications with PYN, the provider, and worksite supervisors if applicable. They are the main contact for PYN and the provider. You will complete and ensure compliance with the worksite agreement, which includes postings for all various worksite information such as OSHA, child labor law postings, and so forth. The worksite coordinator is also responsible to ensure a safe learning environment and adheres to the required participant-supervisor ratio, which is outlined by each individual program model, and your provider should share that information with you if you're not aware of these ratios. Additionally, a worksite coordinator attends necessary trainings and orientations offered by PYN and the provider. Your provider may request or require that you attend additional trainings in addition to this one that will go over specific details of their own summer model. A worksite coordinator is also responsible to immediately contact the provider if there is any worksite incident, such as injury or any type of incident that happens at the worksite. Additionally, when applicable, the worksite coordinator may perform any or all responsibilities of the worksite supervisor. And the worksite supervisor is a staff member at the worksite responsible for the day-to-day experience and supervision of the WorkReady participant. This is the main contact for the WorkReady participant, the young people at your worksite. They complete the necessary clearances as required by PYN and child labor laws and comply with all aspects of the worksite agreement. They attend the necessary trainings and orientations offered by PYN and the provider, as well as supporting participants in setting and maintaining realistic goals, supporting participants in various aspects of the project-based learning component of the WorkReady program, facilitates participant debrief and reflection opportunities, for example, daily supervisions, and when applicable, perform any or all responsibilities of the worksite supervisor. We specifically have identified very different roles for both a coordinator and supervisor. We understand that in some cases, staff may play both roles, but the coordinator is really one that is managing compliance, working with the provider, while the supervisor is the one that is working directly with young people. There may be multiple supervisors at one site, but you really only need one worksite coordinator. So some information to keep in mind during the WorkReady Summer Program. First of all, WorkReady participants are middle to high school aged youth or young adults undergoing supervised practical training in a professional setting, developing and learning essential skills and behaviors needed to be successful in the workplace. Conversely, a part-time employee is an employee who works in a regular position but is scheduled less than full-time hours and is not necessarily undergoing supervised training. We truly want to highlight that the young people in the WorkReady program are there to learn and are not a part-time employee that you would otherwise fill with other positions or other people outside of the WorkReady program. So keep that in mind as you are managing and supervising young people. They are here to learn. They may not have all of the skills necessary to carry out the job, and we hope that you are working with them to develop those skills so that they, in the future, may become part-time employees with your organization. But in the 6-week program, we do ask that you keep that distinction in mind. WorkReady summer programs operate traditionally 6 weeks between July and August. Young people have an opportunity to work a total of 120 hours over the course of this 6 weeks and approximately 20 hours per week. Keep in mind that hours can be made up over the course of the program. So if young people do not work a full 20 hours in one week, they can work more hours in the next week, as long as they're not exceeding 40 hours per week in any given week. Please also keep in mind that while we are working to have programs last for 6 weeks, based off of start and end dates and schedules, we understand that programs may run shorter or longer as long as young people are working those 120 hours. Additionally, a key component of the WorkReady program is the contextual learning and professional development component. All young people in the WorkReady system will have a contextual learning component that is connected to their summer experience. This enhances the previous slide that it is a learning opportunity and not just a part-time job. Depending on the various program model and the provider that you are working with, this component may vary across the system. So please make sure to connect with your provider to understand your role in supporting the contextual learning component for summer participants. Here is some helpful information and frequent FAQs that we often receive about the WorkReady Summer Program. So first, transportation. We want to stress that WorkReady participants are not permitted in personal vehicles. If there is a need to transport young people, we ask that you do so via public transportation or via insured bus or van companies. If you are planning on taking young people on a field trip or taking them to an extended time off-site, this doesn't mean something like a meeting during the time of the workday, but a field trip that they would be gone for the entire day, we ask that you notify the provider and the participant's parent or guardian if the participant is under 18. Many providers will have customized permission slips, and if they don't, PYN does have a permission slip template that can be obtained by that provider. We also want to remind you that all hours that youth are working must be paid. There are not volunteer options. So while youth may want to work above the 120 hours, unless there is means and resources to pay them above and beyond, they cannot work past that and cannot work volunteer hours. Dress codes. We understand that dress codes may vary by worksite and by program and even by day. So please make sure to review proper dress attire with participants during their orientations and continue to connect in with these young people throughout their summer experience to make sure that they are meeting the expectations that you have set. Please also remember to discuss the best way to reach the coordinator or worksite supervisor in the event of lateness or absences. This may include email, text, or phone. Also think about how you want to be addressed so that the young people are best prepared to speak to you in a professional way that you feel comfortable. Please also use discretion when permitting participants to work on extremely hot days. We all know how Philadelphia summers may go up to 90s, even into the hundreds, and humidity. And we want to be mindful of young people working, especially in non-air conditioned settings, and we want to ensure safe environments for them. If you have to make a decision not to have young people work because of extremely high heat, please inform your provider as well as your interns immediately so that you can work to develop a schedule that works for both you and the provider and the student to make up any additional hours that may be missed. I also want to bring to your attention that in addition to this worksite training, we have a robust worksite toolkit that is available online at any time. This worksite toolkit has various resources that are relevant to all programs. You may see us use the word internship throughout the toolkit, but it is relevant for all program models. The worksite toolkit has following sections: Getting Involved, which outlines resources for new worksites or to share information with others. Worksite resources such as developing and preparing for the worksite experience, interviewing and onboarding tools. This may include a orientation checklist and a sample orientation agenda. Also, implementing the worksite experience, which is suggested activities for interns while they're there, how to give feedback to young people, goal setting with youth. And finally, under our worksite resources information, we have a detailed section on payroll information, such as sample timesheets and timesheet guidelines. We urge and ask you strongly to review the timesheet guidelines, both through the toolkit and with your provider organization, to ensure that you are aware of what your responsibilities are in completing that timesheet so that young people can be paid appropriately in the summer. In our worksite compliance section, we have policies and procedures, such as worksite incident policies and youth grievance policies. We also have the required PYN forms and assessments, such as our worksite agreement and surveys. And finally, you can find all postings that are required at any worksite on the online toolkit. Therefore, if, for example, you do not have a child labor law posting, you can print that out and put it into wherever location that you see fit, because it is required for all worksites in the WorkReady system to have a variety of postings, and you can access them here. And finally, our worksite trainings and FAQs. This is just an area where there's additional resources and documents that you may find helpful when running the program. If you have any additional questions about the WorkReady Summer Program, you can contact your provider organization directly. They are your first line of contact and can probably give you the most detailed information about your individual experience. If you have a higher level systems question or are not able to get in contact with your provider, please feel free to email info@pyninc.org. Thank you very much for your time, and we appreciate your support of the WorkReady Summer Program. Have a great day.